Peace, love, and coconut oil family. In this installment of Melanated Empire, we're going to be reasoning about the Egyptian deity called Bastet or Ubaste, I mean, whatever name you're familiar with, and why, again, the ancestors saw it fit to include this domestic animal really within the Nitiru. And as a sidebar, we're going to be breaking down a little understanding as to why cats, okay, since Bastet obviously is a cat deity, why cats in certain movies, family, are seen or used as gateways or mirrors to other dimensions. And having said that, let's jump right I'm sure many of you who clicked on this video already have a broad understanding about the deity, or probably it's your first time, or you maybe just want to listen to what Simon has to say about it. Whatever the case, family, we're asking that you please hit that subscribe button to just subscribe to us. You know, sometimes not all the topics may go with you, but we sure to send out a vibration that actually resonates with your soul, and this may just be one of them. Okay, so let's go in. Bastet or Ubaste family is a deity with a cat's head and a slender female body, right? This deity can be found as early as the 3rd millennia BCE. We're talking 3000 before the Christian era. If you want to be specific, around 2890. So we find it after the unification of the two lands. That doesn't mean the deity didn't already exist, because we must remember a cat falls within the feline family, and because what is practiced basically in the whole of Upper and Lower Egypt actually came from the south or from the north, depending on what angle you're looking at it as. So that ancient African culture reached up the Nile family and got established in Kemet. So not because it is said that it goes as early as 3rd millennia BCE, because we can trace back, if we're looking at just the feline category, and see that a Penimec, which is a Kushite deity, actually dates way back. You understand? And it falls within the same category. So first off, Bast or Bastet, Bast actually means the soul of Oset, okay? And Bastet went on to mean the lady of the ointment jar, because there are certain hieroglyphs and depictions you will see the deity holding an ointment jar family. That ointment jar is said to contain either oils or perfumes. So she's seen as the deity of fertility, she's seen as the deity of war, she's seen as the deity of perfumes as well, as I mentioned, and of sex and protection, right? So we're gonna try and go into each one of them as to why the cat was seen fit for this particular function. Now, mention rather quickly in movies. Take, for example, the Black Panther.
Nakia, the ebb. I call upon the ancestors. I call upon Bast. I am here with my son, T'Challa.
So if this deity is mentioned within such a mega film family, you know there is some significance to it. Now the family should know that basically coming from Sudan area, let's say just Upper Egypt, but for those who don't really know, we'll just say Sudan so they can basically have an idea of the map of Africa and where we're speaking about. So Sudan, Uganda, present-day Ethiopia, and the Nile going upwards. Right. This deity, in its most early rendition, is the wife of Ptah, right? And they have a son called Mahis. And she's also known as the daughter of Ra, because again, within certain renditions of the story family, when Ra is actually crossing the sky in his solar bark, she is in front of him as his protection, right? So that is just one level of the protection, and we actually mentioned the perfumes as well. But what I want the family to really know is protection, as in, if we are making a trad up family, right? Like we're living and we're migrating. We're living where we were settled and we're migrating up. We have to check for food. We have to check for food and water. Water, the Nile is already there because we're following the Nile, right? But we have to check for food as well. So in those specific areas, when crops were planted, right, there were a lot of vermin, like you'd get a lot of rodents, like rats, you'd get snakes coming and eating the crops family. So within that understanding, the cats were seen as the animal or the extension of the divine consciousness to actually take care of that pesticide, let's just call it that, You understand? So the cats were the ones responsible for killing the rats and even killing the snakes. So I mean, obviously, so the vegetation could have its ample time to grow and bud up and give us the food. You understand? So the ancestors saw that and they're like, yo, you know what? After we have to eat and them rodents and snakes and things come and try and eat our food, and the cats is the one protecting. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an agricultural understanding to family. We have to bring agriculture into the complex because remember, they didn't have no supermarkets back in them time there where you can go and buy food and things. Is what you plant basically is what the farmer doing right now, which is to understanding what we have to go back to a level. I ain't telling anybody that watching that video to go and dig no big garden or something, but at least learn the understanding of planting something and seeing what it produces. Trust me, it have a different feeling to it, family. You see? So seeing that all that effort and all that work was put in, waiting for the inundation of the Nile to actually plant our crops, and then we have these pests, these rodents and rats and snakes coming and eat our crops, and we're seeing is the cat that actually protecting our crops. I mean, we have to venerate the creature to a level. So within the understanding of she being before Ra, being his protection, because she's known as the daughter of Ra, and for that reason she's also associated with the Eye of Ra as well. Because I mean, she started off as a lioness warrior deity for the sun, but then to some extent Sekhmet, which is another deity we have to go into as well, Sekhmet played that role, you know, much more vehemently. Like, yeah, that's another story we have to go into, where Sekhmet was actually sent to try to convince mankind to change their ways, and for the amount of people they said that she slaughtered, where they had to convince her, like, turn the Nile to beer, but make it look red for her to go and drink it and get herself drunk, because yeah, the lioness was getting on bad. And I mean, we should use that understanding to see even within the animal kingdom, when it comes for hunting, it is the lioness that have to get on roughly and get the food. You see what I'm saying? So Sekhmet, right, actually played that role much better. So Sekhmet would be the lioness, and then Bastet would actually be the cat. Now it's the same feline family, so it's like Bastet and Sekhmet is two sides of the same coin, family. In regards to being the deity of fertility and of children, I mean the domestic cat. I mean, just have a look when the domestic cat, I mean, you know, having a litter of little kittens. I don't want to say children. When the domestic cat family having a litter of kittens, you know what I mean? I mean, it having by how many? So obviously it will be the deity of fertility as well. Now, a point I forgot, family, in regards to the protection as well, because remember I said that she actually plays the role of the daughter of Ra, and she goes before Ra when his solar back is going through the celestials, and the cat being the protector of the crops from rats and from snakes. In a particular hieroglyph right here, we can actually see that depiction of the cat cutting off the head of a snake. You know, they should have cat wielding a knife, but you know what I mean. Cutting the head of a snake. That snake is actually Apep. And Apep is, let's just say, the embodiment of Isfet. Isfet is what the ancestors would call chaos. So what we call chaos today, they call it Isfet. And Apep is like the embodiment of Isfet. So it's like Isfet within an anthropomorphic representation for that point in time, for that period. So in that rendition, it is shown that, you know, the cat deity as well, cutting off the head, you know, powerful. So within these understandings, family, the ancestors, our ancestors, saw it fit to actually include this domestic animal, right? Even having its roots within the feline family, as we did mention the Kushite deity, Apedimek, and also Sekhmet as well. See, so it fit to even include that domestic animal within the Neteru, because as we explained, the vegetation and the food was, I mean, vital, family. That goes without saying. The sidebar I wanted to put why we can see cats were basically used within, well, metaphysics, some will call it pseudoscience, in regards to being mirrors or gateways to other dimensions, like in Constantine.
Be careful with that cat.
God, I hate this part.
So let's break this down scientifically, family. I'm sure the family has probably heard of, if you haven't, there are certain exercises called scrying, for example. Scrying is when you use a mirror to try to see into someone's past, probably even predict the future or see what it says about the future, okay? It's also called magic mirror in some cultures, and it's just the understanding that mirrors are actually gateways into other dimensions. The way this falls within the category of the feline, of the cat family, is because when light enters the eye family, there are two types of cells in the eye which actually absorb that light. They are referred to as cones and rods. Okay, listen to me closely. Cones and rods. They are the two cells in the eye that absorb or embrace after the light passes through the retina. It absorbs the light family and transforms the light, okay, or converts it to electrical energy. Now that light can either be electromagnetic, being from the sun, or artificial light. They think here and tell the difference. It just know it just getting light for the time, so we have to actually process that light. So when that light goes in and passes the retina, the two types of cells within the human eye, or within any eye, let's put it that way, that convert the light to electrical impulses, whether again the light being electromagnetic from the sun or artificial, are referred to as cones and rods. Cones are less sensitive and they work better when there is a lot of light, so let's just say during the daytime. Rods, however, are more sensitive and they work better when there is minimal light, nighttime obviously. Cats family, okay, have more rods than cones. So as a result, you will find that they will see better in the night than the human eye. Take for example this picture right here. To the top is the human eye, okay, and to the bottom is how they perceive a cat would actually, how a cat's vision, and to the bottom would be how they would perceive the cat's vision to be. So due to the cat having more rods family, we can see that within the nighttime they actually see better than the human, okay? But not only that, remember we mentioned the scrying and we mentioned the magic mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. The cat family behind the retina, because okay, when the light comes through the retina, not all the light will be caught on the cones or the rods. Some light actually passes those cells family and it goes to the dark layer which is behind the eye, behind the retina, and it is lost forever, right? So from time the light is not caught on the cone or the rod and it passes, is lost. In the cat's eye family, at the back of the eye, okay, after the light has gone through the retina, whether it's been caught on a cone or rod or not, at the back of the cat's eye family has a tissue referred to as tapetum lucidum. Now, lucid, the family should already know what lucid means. I mean, when you're having lucid dreams, it's like you can actually be there and actually see what's going on. So that tissue is called tapetum lucidum. But a simple name for it is a mirror. And that is because when the light, when the light enters the cat's eye, it is not caught on any of the rods, okay, or cones. It actually bounces back on that tissue. That tissue is very reflective. It actually bounces back on the tissue. And as a result, the light has a second chance of being caught on a cone or a rod. I hope the family understand me, you know. Light passes through the eye family. Okay, human eye. Light passes through the retina. Some is either caught on a cone or a rod. And what is not caught goes to the dark layer behind the eye and is lost forever. Right? In the cat's eye, when the light comes through the retina and it passes through, instead of being lost, what is not caught on the cone or rod, instead of it being lost in the dark layer, it is actually a reflective layer and bounces back and has a second chance to be caught on the cone or the rod. That's why cats now can actually process that incoming light better than us and have better vision than us. Because of the tapetum lucidum, being lucid, being that mirror layer family, that is why cats are used in movies and shown basically as being a mirror or a gateway to another dimension. I mean, The people believe that so much in ancient Victorian times. If someone died in a house, they would cover all the mirrors in the house just to make sure that the soul doesn't get trapped in the mirror. So it's like when you're looking at the cat, like what we saw Constantine do, it's like you're looking at a mirror, it's like you're looking through yourself, because the eyes are the windows to the world, but they are also the door to your soul. Because through somebody's eye, you can tell everything you know, unless it's some artificial or some hybrid we're talking about. But the eyes never lie, family. You see what I'm saying? For some reason, Barry's Hammond tune come in my head. Angel eyes, your eye, show me it. Barry's Hammond, Angel Eyes, big up the endless still. Tough tune. Anyway, that's what we basically saying. The eyes tell you all you have to know. So the eyes, windows to the world, but also doors to the soul. So as a result, by looking into the cat's eye, it's like, because it's a mirror, it's like you're looking into your eye and you're going into a deeper realm within your understanding, whether it is subconsciously, consciously, or unconscious. That is the whole understanding, family. You know how we do at Melan's Empire. Look forward to more of our videos. Hope you hit that subscribe button. And having said that, peace, love, and coconut.